If you ever wondered what the first episode of Squid Game Season 4 would look like, your search has came to an end. And believe me, this video is jaw-dropping as you would imagine. Like, it will leave you completely speechless. So as you are watching this video, I strongly recommend that you cover your mouth with your hands, because in today's video, I'm going to be going over Squid Game Season 4 Episode 1 explained when it actually happens. And no, I'm not over exaggerating. This is actually unbelievable. Like and subscribe right now if you are excited for Squid Game USA. Season 4 will open with a really personal scene between Gi-hun's daughter and her mother. Yeah, I'm talking about Gi-hun's daughter and his ex-wife. Now, in this scene, Gi-hun's daughter would have told her mother about Gi-hun's death, and she won't want to believe it. She might even say that Gi-hun might be faking his death to try and get some money from them. She might even say some things about how he's a gambling addict who doesn't care about his family, and that his daughter should move on with her life and just forget about him. Yeah, that's quite cruel. Poor Gi-hun. But Gi-hun's daughter will get angry and scold her mother for not listening to her and believing her. She will even tell her about the money and ask her why her father would need to fake his death for money if he was just going to give her such a huge amount of money. Gi-hun's daughter will leave the house and bang the door afterwards, and this is where she will get creative. Gi-hun knows she has no reason to doubt that her father is dead, but still she will need more answers, like how did he die, when, and was it an accident? Was it suicide, or did someone kill him? With all these questions pulling up, the person she will think about to give her the answers will be In-ho, the frontman, the same man who brought the news to her about her father's death at her doorstep. So to try and find answers, she will need to find out who the man was and how she can find him again. But that might be difficult, especially with In-ho being someone that doesn't want to be found and is really good at hiding. And if he doesn't want to be found, a teenager is unlikely gonna find him. After hitting so many dead ends, she will make a very drastic decision. She will go to South Korea to find out what happened to her father. Now, of course, when she goes to where she knew Gi-hun used to live with his mother, someone else will be living there, or it might be empty. She will talk to some people living around to try and figure out if they knew her father or her grandmother. People are going to tell her that her grandma is dead and how she died alone while her father was nowhere to be found. Little did they know he was fighting against the world. Gi-hun might be discouraged, and her mother's words might even ring into her head. Because what kind of son disappears and lets his own mother die alone? But that's when she will be pulled into Choi's net. Choi Woo-sik still runs the streets, especially now with his boss gone. He was particularly heartbroken that Gi-hun's money was stolen from the deadbeat motel. So when he hears that someone is out here looking for Gi-hun, he is going to be interested. Now, I think Choi will approach Gang-young himself after getting the news of her. And of course, the first set of questions he will ask Gang-young are, who are you? And why are you looking for Gi-hun? I'm thinking that Gang-young will definitely be curious, so she will ask him who he is as well. But Choi has the upper hand since she is desperate for answers, so she will tell him who she is and why she is looking for Gi-hun. And hey, we all know Choi. The man's mouth is kinda like a signboard with a speaker, but he's also a big softie. Don't you agree, guys? So he will tell Gang-young that he knew her father and will even take her to Jun-ho. Now we know Jun-ho doesn't know much about what happened to Gang-young, but he wouldn't want to tell her what he knows to put her in any harm's way. But Gang-young will plead with him, and Choi might even tell him that the island exploded and the games were over. So it wouldn't hurt if he just told her. Haewon would still be skeptical about it, but Gang-young will then see a picture of Jun-ho and In-ho in the house, and she will ask Haewon to at least give him In-ho's contact. Jun-ho will be so shocked that he will ask her what she knows about him, and if she's smart, which I think she is, she will leverage that tiny information. Haewon will tell her everything, and I mean everything. She will tell him how she met In-ho. Moving on to Noel now. I'm thinking that she's in China now, and Noel is trying to find her child. But instead of finding her daughter, The person she sees is her husband. I'm sure you can imagine the look of shock on her face. I know we all saw the fly in Squid Game Season 3 that said Noel's daughter and husband were killed in North Korea. But it turns out that it wasn't true. Her husband acts like he doesn't see her and walks away, but she follows him, begging him to speak with her and asking where her daughter is. That's all she wants to know. But he doesn't answer her, and when he does, he shouts at her, telling her that she abandoned them. Anyways, back to Korea. After Gi-hun has learned everything that she can from Jun-ho and Choi Woo-suk, she will then go back to America. She now knows that her father wasn't a coward and that he's truly dead. She knows that his death was in the pursuit of the game's organizers. She will take a breath, knowing that the game was no more than her father succeeded in what he died trying to do. But when she gets back to America, she then sees the recruiter playing Dekachi with someone, and she pauses. She remembers the story of how her father paid Mr. Choi and his associates to look for someone playing Dekachi, and she realizes that the game hasn't ended. Her father didn't succeed, and the organizers were still out there. Most importantly, In-ho was still out there. Out of rage, she walks up to the recruiter and asks questions, but the recruiter probably won't answer any of those questions. You already know how they act. I mean, look at the salesman, he was a psychopath. Instead, the recruiter tells her that if she wants to play, then she should just say so. So Gi-hun says she wants to play. She doesn't even care about winning. She just wants to get invited so she can find In-ho and find out more about the games to try and end it. I'm thinking she gets slapped a few times, and the time she wins, she gets to ask a question, but the recruiter doesn't give her proper replies. But she gets the invite card in the end. The card has the same shapes as the box her father's clothes came in. When she gets home, her mother is waiting for her. The woman is clearly angry at her for disappearing like that, but she doesn't even bother to exchange words with her. She just goes to her room and calls the number on the card almost immediately. Back in Korea, Jun-ho is convinced that his brother In-ho is in America, so he decides that he will go to America as well. Choi tries to talk him out of it because he has a baby to take care of, but he refuses. He will ask Choi to take care of baby 222, and then he gets on a plane going to America. When he goes to America, the first person he's going to see is Gi-hun. He would want to figure out what else she knows about In-ho. But when he gets to her house, her mother tells him that she hadn't come home after leaving the house the previous night. She invites him in for tea, and Jun-ho sneaks into Gi-hun's room. I'm sure you can also guess what he will find there. He will see the card she got from playing Dekachi, the recruiter. I was thinking that for the last scene in Season 4, Gi-hun will take up on her bunk bed in Squid Game Hall, and she will be feeling overwhelmed by everything. But then I thought that the last scene would probably be something more hooking. Probably something like In-ho looking at all the new players through the camera, and the frontman of the American Games comes to him and says, "It's an honor to have you with us, sir." I will literally jump off my seat in episode 1 if it ends like this. I will literally scream my eyes out. Anyways, that's about it for this video. If you want to check out my recent video, you can as well. It might be better than this one. Honestly, check it out right now. Press it. I'm waiting. Go. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.